Hello students, as you already know in the previous lectures we have already discussed about the stem, roots and leaves. Now today we are going to discuss about the parts of a flower. Now in the beautiful image in the video you can see the different parts of a flower are: the colored part is called the petal, the green colored part is the sepal, and the stalk of the flower is called the pedicel. Now there are male parts which is yellowish color, and these are called the stamens, which consist of anther and filament, and the female part which consists of stigma, style and ovary, which is called the carpel. Simply in this diagram you can easily understand about the different parts of a flower, and you can see the lower portion of the female part, that is the ovary, is cut into half, and inside you can see a portion which is marked as ovule. So now in this diagram also you can see that petals are there, stigma, style, ovaries are there, a stamen consists of anther and filament, the sepals are also there. Now the other name of the sepal is calyx and the other name of the petal is corolla. The female part is also called the pistil or the carpel, and the male part is called the stamen. And in the center you can see there is ovary. Inside the ovary there are ovules. So from these two images you can easily understand the different parts of a flower, and you can easily distinguish between the colored petals and the green colored sepals, and you can also understand that the colored portion of the flower attracts the insects, and the green color, these are the sepals, which helps in giving the support to the flower. Also when the flower opens up, these green color sepals, they support in the blooming of the flowers. See, this one is the lovely picture of a hibiscus flower cut into a section. You can see the colored portion, the petals. Here also you can see the ovules inside the ovary, which later on forms the seeds. You can see lovely sepals. You can see the pollen tube. You can see anthers. You can see stigma. Everything is finely and easily understandable from this picture, which is showing us the different parts of a hibiscus flower, or any other typical flower can have all these parts. So stamens, which are the male reproductive part of the flower. Each stamen consists of anther and filament, and anther will produce the pollens. Now sepals are green in color. Sepals are green in color. They also protect the flowers. Okay. Here also in this image you can see the anthers, which are brownish in color as shown in the photo. It consists of the pollen grains, and it also consists of filaments. Now in the center of all the anthers you can see that there is stigma. So which is the male part, the stamen? What does it contain? Anthers and filaments. Anthers will contain what? Pollens. And in the center you can see that there is a knob-like structure which is called the stigma, and which is the female part of the flower. Now which one is the colorful part of the flower? The petals. And this surrounds the inner part of the flowers. As you can see, it's nicely visible that inner parts are the male part and the female part, and surrounding the male part and the female part you can see the petals, which are lovely pink in color. Now see here, you can see the anthers in a very magnified way. Anthers, filaments are also visible, and how many? There are 6. And in the center you can see there is the stigma. Anthers, they contain the powdery substance which is called the pollens. Now when these pollens are transferred from one flower to the other, then the pollination. Now these anthers are transferred from one portion to another, one flower to another. Then what will happen? Pollination will take place. So in this flower, see very closely you can see the anthers and the filaments. Both are surrounded by the colorful petals, right? And which are the male part? The stamens, which consist of anther and filaments, which are the female part, the carpel. Now in this photo you can see the arrangement of the stamens in the flower. So many stamens are visible along with the yellowish color anther and the whitish color filaments. I hope everyone can understand that so many stamens are there. So large number of pollen grains will be produced from the stamens, and in the center of the flower, which is surrounded by all the stamens, is the female part, which consists of stigma, style and the ovary. The ovary is the lowermost part of the female part, which is the carpel. So in this photo you can understand how the anthers and the filaments are attached. That means they become the stamens, and there are so many in the hibiscus flower. The third one shows, in this photo only, the third one, that is number C, shows the stigma, which is velvety and sticky. Here you can see the anthers and filaments in a close-up manner. See the anthers, there are two lobes in the anthers with the thread-like structure, which is called the filament. So here one anther is isolated or taken out from the flower and is shown to you. So what is the male part of the flower? The stamen, which consists of, what are the parts that are present in the stamen? The anthers and the filament. Now anthers will produce what? Pollen grains, and filament makes the anther to stand erect, or gives the anther its support, right? So if you are asked which is the male part, what will you say? The stamen. And what are the different parts the male part will have? These are the anthers, which are bilobed. You can see there are two lobes in the anther, and the filament. Now when we will see the next photo, we can see that the filament is long and like a thread, and the anther in the center there are what? Pollen grains. So just now I told the anther is the bilobed. That means two lobes will be present. So inside the lobes, if you can see, there will be what? The pollen grains. Okay. So this is a magnified view of the anther that is being taken out from the flower. So many anthers will be there, but from there only one has been taken out along with the filament to show you the detailed structure of the anther and the filament in a stamen, which consists of pollen grains. Okay. I hope all of you have understood this one. Now in the next photo we will see about the female part, which is called the carpel. So carpel is made up of stigma, style and ovary. Now stigma is the main part, which is the sticky, and style, which is the filament like, and there is the ovary. So the other name of the female part is the carpel, and the carpel consists of this stigma, which is the top portion, the base, that is ovary, and the tube-like structure, which is called the style, which will connect what? Which will connect the ovary and the stigma. Inside the ovary there are some small structures which are called the ovules, which later develops into seeds, as already you have seen in the previous photos. Okay, so what are the male and female reproductive parts of a flower? The male part of the flower is called the stamen, and the female part of the flower is called the carpel or the pistil. So in the next photo we will see about the pollination. Now the pollen grains are transferred from anther to the stigma of another flower. Why? Because the flower has to develop into a fruit and it has to form the seeds. So for this process the pollen grains are to be transferred from the anthers to the stigma. This process of transferring of pollens from the anther to the stigma is called the pollination. So there might be some pollinators like honeybees, which will transfer the pollens from anther to the stigma of the flowers. So from one flower to the other, who will carry the pollens? The pollinators, like insects, like birds, and also butterflies. So honeybees, when they sit on one flower for having their nectar, they suck the nectar. By that time the pollen grains are attached or sticks onto their body. When they sit onto the other flower, then they rub the pollen grains onto the other flower, then pollination takes place. So the process of transference of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of one flower to the other, or in the same flower also it can take place. So this process is called what? Pollination. And this is necessary. Why this is necessary? For the formation of the fruit. So when one insect sits in one flower and goes to the other flower, then pollination takes place because pollen grains are transferred to the stigma. Now when the pollination has taken place, that means the pollen grains are transferred, and then the ovules, they change into seeds. The ovules are present inside the ovary. They change into seeds. Then the seeds are formed. The ovary develops into the fruit. Slowly, what happens? The ovary develops into fruits. Now fruit, what it will have? It will have the seeds which are developed from the ovule. Now you can see here, along with the basic structure of the flower, from where the fruit develops is also shown here. The fruit develops from the ovary and the seeds develop from the ovule. Here in this diagram, it is also clear that there are colored part which are called the petals. The green colored part are also called the sepals. There is stigma, there is style, and there is ovary along with the ovule. Stamens consist of anther and filament. So repeatedly, as you can see, that these are the different parts of a flower. And here also one exceptional part is drawn, which is the pollen tube. That means the pollens that have come and sat on the stigma have to reach inside the ovary to the ovule so that the process of union can take place. So this pollen tube will bring the pollens into the ovary. This way, the process of pollination is complete. Here, the fruit is being formed, and inside you can see the seeds. So the fruit generally forms from the ovary, and the ovules develop into seed. Now, when the seeds will get their suitable condition, they develop into the new plant. They become the seedling and then grow into a new tree. So suitable condition like water, air and warmth are necessary so that the seed can become a baby plant. So in the next photo we can see about the different parts of the seeds. Here in this photo you can understand that the lowermost portion is the calyx, that is the sepal, is still there. Others, the petals have fallen off. The ovules have grown into seed, ovaries have developed into fruit, and you have the outer covering, which is the skin of the apple for protection. Here you can see the parts of a seed. Any seed like the gram seed or rajma, or you can see the kabuli chana seed, that is the chickpea. There you can see a swollen portion of the seed which is called the cotyledon, and here the foods are stored. And also the outer covering, which is not destroyed easily, is called the seed coat. So the embryo is present inside the seed, very protected, and when it gets the seed is soaked in water, suppose, and it is getting its proper nutrition, warmth, then the seed gives rise to the baby plant. So slowly the baby plant grows into a small plant, and then it can grow into a tree when it gets suitable condition. So here you are seeing what the parts of a seed with the seed coat for protection. There is also a small pore below the place from where the embryo is rising, which allows the water to go inside. Here also you can see an open seed is shown here with the seed coat and the structure which stores the food. Mainly the portion that we eat contains what? The food stored. So in this diagram, it is very, very clear the embryo is there, the food is stored, the seed coat is there. So these are the different parts of a seed. Now in this lecture, we have discussed about the parts of a flower. We have discussed about the male part and female part also, which helps in reproduction. and we have discussed about the pollination, and I think all of you have understood. Here we have also discussed about the seeds and the fruits. So different parts of the seeds also we have described. So with this we end up with this lesson. All of you please just go through the videos to understand the concepts.